Good evening, America. I am Eric Little. It is the 18th day of January 2021. It is day 1460 of the Trump administration, leaving just 2 days left until the inauguration of Joe Biden and 3 days left in this show. There have been 76 days since the election and 72 days since the election was called for Joe Biden. It is MLK Day, also known as National Service Day. So if there's something you can do for your community or for a neighbor, please do it. I'm near my home in Southern California this evening, and this is the plain truth. So I'm sure many of you have looked at CNN or MSNBC or any other network today and see what Washington, D.C. looks like right now. It looks like a fortress. It looks like, they have a red zone and a green zone like they do in Iraq. And it looks like this. I want you to keep this in mind. All the security precautions, all the fencing, everything that you see. This is all because one man won't stop lying. That's it. One man won't just say, look, I lied, he won the election fair and square, everybody go home. He won't do that. There's a lot of smashing of presidential norms going on, and that's okay. Nowhere is it written in the Constitution says he has to be nice. But, how about class? Remember that? Like, he and Melania are leaving the White House classless, having never invited the Bidens in for the photo op that everybody else does. Now, granted, there's no constitutional rule that says you have to do that. It's just class. Going to the inauguration is class. Standing up and telling the truth is class. After Trump told all those lies about Obama and him not being born in this country and all that stuff, you think the Obamas wanted to do that? No, they didn't. But you know what? They understood. They stood on ceremony and they said, this is what normally happens. This is normalcy. The first lady invites the incoming first lady. The president invites the incoming president. They sit down, they have a meeting. The first lady gives a tour. I mean, not that the Bidens need a tour. They were just there 4 years ago. But it's the class. It's the passing of the torch. I'm so tired of people in the media saying, well, Trump gets out of the way, then we can go ahead and have our peaceful transition. The peaceful transition is gone. Peaceful means no bloodshed. We've already had bloodshed during this transition. 5 people are dead. There's no peaceful transfer of power here. In 244 years, we have never had that tradition broken until now. Now we have 5 deaths directly contributing to a person that wouldn't say, I lost. Look, at this point, I just want you to go away. There still needs to be accountability. You still need to have a trial in the Senate, and you may need to face some federal and state crimes. But for now, you need to go away. The handoff, and one of the things that I'm so angry about is that I love the inauguration. I love the handoff. I love the sitting to the signal of the world that this is how you do it. The loser goes, hands over power to the winner. There's no fight, there's no argument, there's no bloodshed, there's no coup. Everybody is willing to do this. How inauguration is supposed to work is the new president and first lady do a little bit of walk down Pennsylvania Avenue, then they take them to the steps of the Capitol. The old president, the outgoing president, is there waiting with the nuclear football, by the way. And then the guy walks up, he takes oath of office, his wife usually holds the Bible or stands next to him. The Supreme Court, the John Roberts gives the Chief Justice gives the oath of office. He takes it, everybody claps, celebrates. The new president gives a speech. That speech varies. I think the shortest one was 35 minutes, the longest one was like 2 hours. But that speech varies. But it mostly is always the same thing. Now's the time to bring the country together, blah, blah, blah. And then what happens is the new president walks the old president to, well, it won't be Marine One, it'll be a presidential helicopter since the president isn't on. It's not Marine One, but you get the point. To the helicopter that flies him over to Andrews. The military gives him a salute and does the pomp and circumstance there. He flies off on the presidential plane for the last time. And it takes him wherever he's from. Like, took Obama back to Chicago, it took Bush back to Crawford, Texas. Wherever you came from, it takes you back there. And that's pretty much the end of it. But not with this guy. Remember I said everything with this guy is a thing? He can't just stand there for 15 seconds. The oath of office is 35 words. I mean, you have so little class, you can't stand there to watch a guy repeat 35 words? I mean, this is where we are now. And it makes me angry because I really love inaugurations. I love the pomp and circumstance. I love how it's a normal handoff, a normal transition. Now, I know people say, well, Trump has a nuclear football. Well, the Secret Service says there are two. What they've done is just activate a new nuclear football. They have two. And so the one that Trump is going to leave before he's out of office, he's going to Florida while he's still president. So he's taking Air Force One to Florida, to Palm Beach Airport. And at 12 o'clock, that football will be turned on and the one with Biden will be turned off. Does anybody really believe that the one he has the actual nuclear codes on it? They probably deactivated that months ago. But supposedly that's what's going to happen. You don't normally have to do all that because both people are in the same place at the same time. Okay, listen, there are less than 48 hours left. At the time I made this video, there were 29 hours left, or 33 hours left, something like that. We're down to hours now, because it's what, 5 minus 48, 43 hours left at the time I'm making this video. So let's just get through the last 43 hours. Let's let Biden take this oath of office, and let's try to put this behind us. But, for people like me, except that are Republicans that like the inauguration and the handoff and all, what do you think about this? I mean, this doesn't bother you? The insurrection didn't bother you? The loss of life doesn't bother you? The kids in cages doesn't bother you? Yeah, I mean, I don't know what it would take. I mean, are you in a trance or something? I mean, I just don't get it. That if you love the inauguration and you love the pomp and circumstance, this doesn't bother you? It's one of those things, and I said this in an earlier broadcast maybe a month ago. One thing we learned from Trump is that from now on, we can't just accept presidential norms. If something you want something done, you better write it down. You better make it a law. You better put it in a writing that you must do A, B, and C. That's the only reason why Mike Pence went with the certification of president, because the Constitution said he had to. And that's what you're going to have to do from now on. It's not just presidential norms. Up until this guy, all the presidents respected each other enough to say, wow, you won the highest office in the land. Much respect. And they did what they needed to do to participate in the program. But what we learned from this guy is you better write it down. And that is the plain truth, as I see it. And I am Eric Little. Good night.